Right, hi everyone. It's been a while since I last did one of these, mostly because I totally forgot that it was something I said I was going to do a lot, because there was all the upheaval of moving back up here to uni and then starting third year and living on my own again, and I just forgot. So I got an anon a few minutes ago asking me if I'd do another one, and I thought, hey, why the hell not? I'm home alone with nothing to do but work all evening. And let's be honest, I'm not going to do that. So let's make a video. I didn't I don't really know what to do this about, so I thought just do what I did before and find a list of questions and answer them, and you guys can pretend like you care. um, right. Sorry, you got to excuse the no makeup. I've been in lectures 9 to 5 today. Right, I've just found a random list of questions, so I haven't actually looked it through, but I will just try answering them. Okay, where have I put them? There we are. Right, are looks important in a relationship? I don't want to say yes, because now I'm going to sound really shallow, but like, that's what kind of draws you in the first place. So I suppose in that sense, yeah. But then once you're with someone, you've been with someone for a long time, you don't even really see what they look like anymore. I mean, I still appreciate like when Phil looks really nice. Like, he's wearing a suit a lot this week because he's on placement, and I can appreciate that. But it's not like I don't like see him and think, oh, you look shit today, therefore I'm not interested or whatever. Like, I don't. It's not important anymore. But I do like it when he looks nice. So kind of, yeah. Are relationships ever worth it? Yeah, if you're with the right person. Like, I've been talking about this with my little sister a lot. She's 15, and she's kind of at that stage where a lot of girls in her year are getting into relationships. And I mean, yeah, that was mean, sorry. Some of them might be genuine, but a lot of the time at that age, relationships are more about like a status symbol and fitting in. And I remember vividly being that age and thinking there was something wrong with me because I didn't have a boyfriend and loads of other people did. But I didn't want a boyfriend just for the sake of having a boyfriend, because I knew short-term relationships weren't something I was interested in. I wanted something long-term and real. And I've been trying to talk to my sister about that, and she feels the same way. So, yeah, I was trying to explain to her that relationships, if you're like me and like her, and you get really emotionally invested in things, a relationship that's kind of not 50-50 or, I don't know, it's more about popularity and fitting in, that's not really worth it. Unless it's what you both want, I suppose. I don't know, it's a tough one. Are you a virgin? I should have really read these through before I start answering them. Short answer, no. Are you in a relationship? Yes. Are you in love? Yes. Are you single this year? Well, no, because I just said. Can you commit to one person? I think I can. I've proven that I can. I've been with Phil for it'll be 2 years in October. Describe your crush. Well, that's Phil, I suppose. So he's God, how do we describe Phil that doesn't take hours? He's laid back to a ridiculous extent sometimes. He likes to do things slowly. He doesn't rush anything. He doesn't stress about things, like the opposite of me. He doesn't plan. He likes to be spontaneous. He doesn't care. Like, he's one of those people who genuinely doesn't give a shit what the world thinks of him, unless it's like for a professional job thing. He is unapologetically himself, and I love that. And he'd never say something nasty to someone. Like, he's always like he'll tell me, but he won't. Like, he's not confrontational. He's not laddish. He's nerdy, but in the same way I am, and I love that. He's disgustingly loyal, and he's never once given me reason to doubt how he feels about me, which is great. He's the least superficial person I've ever met. He's very honest. Very honest. What else can I say about him? He's got great arms. I'm going to go on forever. I'll move on to the next question. Describe your perfect mate. Do we mean mate as in, like, partner? Because I've just done that. Never mind. I'm gonna take mate as, like, friend. So I'll describe my best friend. I have 2 people besides Phil. 2 people I'd really say were my best friends. They're total polar opposites. One is like, she's like the yin to my yang. We're very different, but we fit. I mean, I've known her my entire life. She's loud and gorgeous and confident, and just, she's all the things I'm not, and I'm all the things she's not, and somehow we work. Like, she's more like a sister to me. Like, we can argue like crazy, but it's fine, and I don't know, I just love her to bits. And then my other best friend is like looking in a mirror. We're exactly the same, and that works too. Like, we can, like, our perfect day is lying on her bed watching, like, marathoning a TV show and eating pizza and just scrolling on Tumblr and doing nothing, and it's wonderful. And we can talk about anything and nothing, and we can sit in silence and it's fine, and I love that. So yeah, those are my 2 best friends. Do you believe in love at first sight? No. Because for me, love is a really deep feeling. It's not like for me, love isn't like all big, over the top, passionate crap like in the movies. Love is a more subtle kind of long-term feeling of affection, and I don't think you can't know someone just by looking at them. I believe in lust at first sight and attraction and a crush maybe, but not love. Do you ever want to get married? Yes, definitely. I've been planning my wedding since I was like 2. I was one of those kids. I know exactly what I want, although I'm open to discussion, but not too much. I mean, I'm the planner in any relationship. Oh, I know what I want. Do you forgive betrayal? I struggle to be honest. I mean, I've had a couple of incidences in my life which I would call betrayal, and I don't like hold a grudge or anything, but I still remember it, and if I think about it, I still feel like a twinge of, I don't know, pain. But I suppose I do forgive. I don't hold grudges. I can look past things, but yeah, there are some things which you just can't ever really get over. Do you get jealous easily? Not with Phil, ever, really, and that sounds mean, but to be honest, okay, this sounds really horrible, but I don't really have any competition, and I don't think I ever have, so I'm good there. Like, he goes out for drinks with just him and a female friend, and I did used to get jealous about this girl when he used to send loads of messages to this girl he loved before me, but I'm over that now. I don't get jealous at all. I have absolute faith. But I get kind of like friend jealous. So if my best friends are spending lots of time with someone else or talking to someone else, or I get really jealous of that, and it's silly, but I want my friends. Do you have a crush on anyone? We've done this. Do you have any piercings? Just that. I don't want any more, really. Do you have any tattoos? Not yet, but my goal is on my 21st birthday, I'm going to get the NEDA logo tattooed there. I was going to get it on the back of my neck, but then I wouldn't see it. And if it's there, my mum said it was a really nice idea. She said, every time I pick up a spoon to put it to my mouth, or like I'm eating, I'll see it there, and it'll remind me, if I'm panicking, it'll remind me that I can do this. Only downside is I'm going to be a doctor, and I might not be allowed, oh god, it's gone black. I might not be allowed to have a visible tattoo. I don't know, I'm going to have to email my medical school and find out. Do you like kissing in public? Like a peck on the lips, yeah. I don't like big displays of like PDA just because it makes me uncomfortable, because I know especially if I was single, but any time really, I wouldn't like to have to watch someone else do that, really, whoever they were. Like, sometimes it's cute, but like to an extent. Like, say, I don't know, in special circumstances, like saying goodbye for a long, like at a train station or airport or something, that's lovely. But just in the street, it's a bit much. Do you shower every day? No, I'm gross. I shower every other day. Because if I wash my hair too much, it goes horrible, and I can't really shower without washing my hair because there's so much of it. Do you think someone has feelings for you? I haven't doubted it for nearly 2 years, so yeah. Do you think someone is thinking about you right now? I doubt Phil is, really. He's probably running to get his train home right now, so I don't think he's thinking about me. My mum might be thinking about me and fretting, because she always does. And to be fair, I've kind of given her reason to. Do you think you can last in a relationship for 6 months and not cheat? I've lasted in a relationship for 21, 22 months, so yeah. Do you think you'll be married in 5 years? Could be. I don't know. I mean, what's 5 years? How old am I? We're 25. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Could be. Do you want to be in a relationship this year? I am. Has anyone told you they don't want to ever lose you? Not in so many words, but Phil said something very similar, yeah. And I suppose friends have said things like that to me. And more recently, yeah, people have been saying a lot of stuff about, like, not wanting me to, I don't know, get ill. Has anyone ever written a song or poem for you? Yeah, actually, my aforementioned best friend's dad writes me a poem every year on my birthday, because he's a bit of a poet, thespian type, and they're absolutely incredible. Like, I don't have any of them with me right now. They're in my house at home, my other house. But yeah, I'd love to read one for you guys because they are really, really good, and I love them. They're like my most treasured possession. Have you ever been cheated on? No, luckily. Ever cheated on someone? Also no. That's not something... I mean, I can't say never because I don't know what circumstances are going to come around in the future. I mean, I'm sure my dad would have said he never would have cheated on someone, but then he met my mum, and I'm not going to, like, condemn that because then I wouldn't be here. But no, I don't. Right now, I can't imagine myself ever cheating on someone. Have you ever considered plastic surgery? I have, because I've got this. I'll turn sideways so you can see. The side of my nose kind of has a big lump there. It's a Holloway tradition. Oops, I just said my last name, never mind. Holloway, not tradition, like trait. We've all got these big, weird noses, and my dad always said he felt guilty because he gave it to me, and he always said he would pay for my plastic surgery if I wanted it, but now I'm working on loving my body the way it is, or the way it will be when I'm gained a bit, so I don't think I would anymore. Have you ever cried over a guy, girl? Yeah, who hasn't really? Yeah, a lot. Too much. Have you ever experienced unrequited love big time? Well, love, again, I wouldn't say unrequited love really is love. It's unrequited, I don't know, obsession. Like, I was in love with someone who wasn't real. It was my kind of projection of that person, the way I wanted them to be, the way they were in my head. But that was unrequited for a very long time, yeah. And a lot of crying, yeah. Have you ever had sex with a man? Yes. Have you ever had sex with a woman? No. Have you ever kissed someone older than you? Yes. Wait, that took way too long to think about, yes. Have you ever liked one of your best friends? Yes. Unrequited business. Have you ever... Oh, and also I suppose Phil's my best friend, but he became my best friend after we started being together, so... Have you ever liked someone who your friends hated? No, luckily, because I think that would be really hard, actually. You have to... I think choosing between my friends and someone I loved would be impossible. I can't do choices. I'm lost. Have you ever liked someone you didn't expect to? Yeah, I definitely would not. Like, if you showed me Phil as a person. He wasn't, like, physically, he's absolutely not my old usual type. Personality-wise, yeah, I guess he is, but I don't know, you don't really have a personality type. But yeah, I didn't expect to. When I first met him, he was my housemate, and there's all these, like, you don't get together with housemates rules, flatmate even, in freshers, so I wouldn't have expected it, no. Have you ever wanted someone you couldn't have? Yes. Have you ever written a song or a poem for someone? No, I can't do that sort of, like, English writing, creative writing was never my thing. I probably tried when I was about 13 and infatuated with some boy or other. I probably wrote something horribly embarrassing, but that will never see the light of day, if it exists. Have you had sex so far this year? This is a fun one. I suppose way back in January, yeah, but God, this is so, like, too much information, but as all of you will know, one of the wonderful side effects of being so malnourished is that you lose all libido, and when you lose all libido, sex isn't very comfortable for women. I mean, it hurts like fuck. So, no, not really. A couple of times recently, actually, have gone better than before, but it's like when it's really hurting for me, it doesn't work for either of us, so God, I'm blushing. Yeah, he's been wonderful about it though, like really good. How long can you just kiss until your hands start to wander? Oh, my hands have a mind of their own. But no, I could kiss endlessly. It's like my absolute favourite thing. How long was your longest relationship? This one, 22 months. It's been so far, and still going. How many boyfriends, girlfriends have you had? Only one I'd say is serious. I mean, I've had... No, let's not even bullshit. Just one. How many people did you kiss in 2012-13? What year was that even? 2012. No. Let's say 1/2. 2. One I care about. How many times did you have sex last year? Fuck. God, I wouldn't even be able to say. Or with the same person. Not that it's a bad thing, but... Or with the same person, but a lot. We lived together. How old are you? 20? Going on 21. Soon. If the person you like says they like someone else, what would you say? I don't know, I'd be quite good at just bluffing and being like, oh yeah, that's great, tell me about it. Like, Phil, before we were going out, used to show me this picture of the girl he loved and be like, isn't she beautiful? And I'd be like, yeah, great. That's a weird question. If you have a boyfriend, what's your favourite thing about him? His honesty, I suppose. How open he is, how he's never given me any reason to doubt how he feels. If your first true love knocked on your door with an apology and presents, would you accept? Well, I'd say I'm still with my first true love. So I'd love an apology and present. I mean, I don't need an apology, but I love presents, so yeah. Is there a boy, girl he would do absolutely everything for? There's lots of people, I think. There's Phil, there's my 2 best friends, there's my parents, a couple of other friends, really, really close friends. My dog. There's a lot of people I'd do a lot for. Is there anyone you've given up on? One friend who I kind of wish I hadn't, but it's been too long now to kind of go back. There's too much awkward now, sadly, because we were so close, and then several things, I don't even really know what happened. Probably me. I was in a bad way. Still in a bad way, but different now. And also the unrequited love thing, gave up on that a while ago. Long while ago. Is there someone mad because you're dating the person you are? I hope not. I mean, it's been nearly 2 years, so they've been mad a long time if they are. This is long, I didn't look how many questions there were. Shit. Is there someone you'll never forget? There's a lot of people I'll never forget. like someone who's not in my life anymore. I suppose my grandpa was my favourite person in the whole world, and inspired me to everything really, so I suppose I'll never forget him. Share a relationship story. Hold on, I'm just going to see how many more questions there are, because there's all... oh fuck, there's hundreds. Okay, this is going to be a long video. Relationship story. Okay, here's a funny one. First time I told Phil I loved him, we'd been on a night out. This was about November 2012, and I don't even want to think about how much I drank. There were a lot of red pints, which is just a mix of a billion different vodkas and God knows what else. And I got up on a podium in the club because I thought that was a good idea and was dancing, and it was just fairly awful. And next thing I know, I'm at home, vomiting in my toilet. Trigger warning, sorry, trigger warning there if people don't like that. And obviously it was red because of the red pints, and I started screaming, "Call an ambulance, I'm throwing up blood." And he was like, "No, you're not, don't be stupid." And he tried to get me to go to bed, and I said, "No, no, 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 no. It's really nice and cool on the floor of my bathroom. I'm going to sleep right here." And he tried to get me to go to bed, but I would not go. And then I said, "Look, it's okay, you go to bed." And he said, "No, I'm staying with you." And I said, "No, go to bed." And he said, "No, I'm always going to stay with you." And my response to that was, "Oh, I love you." I mean, I'd been thinking it for a while, a few weeks, but that wasn't really the ideal moment to say it while spitting out vomit. And it was really quiet for a while, and then he said, "What did you just say?" And I said, I was embarrassed by this point, and I said, "You heard me, you know." And he said, "Yeah, but I want to hear you say it again." So I did. And then he said he loved me too. And then I probably passed out. And then the next morning he asked me if I remembered what I'd said, and I did, and we talked about it, and so that was the more romantic part. But yeah, that's a funny story. State 8 facts about your body. Christ. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses. I have grey hair. I have really long legs. I have 2 moles. Oh, Christ, you can't see because of the sun. You can't see them. But I have 2 moles there that look like a vampire bite, and my sister has the exact same one. I have a weird deformity, slight deformity in a awkward place. Why did I say that? I have wisdom teeth. I used to have really great boobs and hope they'll get them back. I always had a really shit ass. It was really shapeless, but I'm hoping now I have no ass. When I gain weight, it'll grow back in a nice round way. So everyone think positive thoughts from my ass. I don't even know if I've said it. I'm bored of this. Things you want to say to an ex, don't have one. 5 ways to win your heart. Honesty, openness, intelligent conversation, comfortable being nerdy about things. Like, whatever you're nerdy about, be openly nerdy about it, and I love it. And nice, I don't know, nice dates, but not like expensive dates, just anything like a walk or a meal out or a movie or anything. Just fun ways to spend time together, I suppose. What do you look like? What's the biggest age difference between you and any of your partners? There is a month and a half between me and Phil. I'm older. What's the first thing you notice in someone? I want to say eyes because it's romantic, but that would be a lie. Probably arms or hair. What's the sexiest thing someone could ever do for or to you? This is awkward. I don't know. I don't know. The sex make me feel? I don't know. I'm going to ignore that one. What's your definition of having sex? Being intimate with someone. However that is for you. Yeah. Definition of cheating. Betraying trust in a relationship with another person. What's your favourite... Oh, God. I don't really want to answer these. I'm going to ignore that one and that one. I should have read these through. What's your idea of the perfect date? A nice meal out where we split the bill. A long meal out, one where we go, maybe go for a nice walk beforehand. It's got to be summer so it's warm. A nice walk in a park, or maybe a walk out in the Peak District and ending up in a pub, or anywhere really. And a nice long meal where we sit for ages and ages and have drinks and a meal and pudding, and then back to one of our houses and watch a nice movie cuddling on the sofa. Those are my favourite kind of dates. What's your sexual orientation? Straight? What turns you off? Arrogance and ignorance. Mostly ignorance, and any sort of prejudice. What turns you on? Arms, good hair, good back, deep voice, nice eyes, and then lots of other things which we won't go into. What? Oh, no, I'm not going to read that, not going to read that. I didn't realise these were these kind of questions. What's something sweet you'd like someone to do for you? I don't know, like, surprise me. It's been a while since Phil surprised me, but that's more my fault because I got so controlled and everything, that everything had to be so planned. I think he was scared of surprising me. But it'd be nice. I'd like a little surprise. I kind of want a hint that I'm back in the kind of mindset where I'd love that now. Flowers again would be nice. What's the most superficial characteristic you look at? Arms, eyes, hair. I don't know. It's the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for you. Well, it feels sweet all the time, but I don't know, he used to do things when we lived together, like I'd say something like, I'd drop into conversation like I'd run out of bread, and on his way home he'd go buy me bread, or buy me broccoli or something, or he'd just buy me some chocolate, or... Oh, and one time recently we had, well, I say recently, it was probably about 4 or 5 months ago, we had a big row. It was silly, I can't even remember what it was about, it was that silly, and he walked all the way to my house before his lectures in the morning, before my lectures. He got here at about 8 a.m. from his house, and he'd gone all the way, and he stopped off at the shops and he bought me roses, and it was raining and he was soaking wet, but he'd walked all the way here just to give me roses because he was so worried, and that was really sweet. What's the sweetest thing you've ever done for someone? I don't know, I can't think of anything in particular. I like to think I'm quite sweet. I do like to surprise him. Doesn't always work. Like, I tried to surprise him by showing up at his house unannounced the other day. Ooh, there's one. About, like, this time last year, I was home revising and he was missing me, so I thought I'd come back 3 days early. So I was stood outside our flat where we lived in for first year, and I called him and I said, can you check if there's anything in my freezer, because otherwise I'll need to go to the shops on my way home in a few days. And he bought it. He went out his room and into the kitchen, so I slipped past into the corridor and then waited for him to go back into his room, to go back into the corridor, and I just walked up behind him, tapped him on the shoulder and made him jump like crazy, but he was really happy to see me. What's your opinion on age differences in relationships? If you love each other, who cares? I mean, my dad is 20 years older than my mum. When they got together, he was 44 and she was 24. So they loved each other. So what? My uncle is 15 years older than his wife. No, a bit less. I think it's about 10. But 12. Yeah, because he was 30 and she was 18 when they got together. He was friends with her parents. He'd known her since she was a little kid, waited till she was 18, they got together. 2 of my closest friends have a big age gap and it's quite controversial, but I mean, if you're in love, you're in love, and who cares what the age gap is? I mean, so long as it's not like 5 and 20 or whatever, as long as you're both legal, who cares? As long as it's consensual, I mean, not legal. No. When was the last time you felt jealous? I said with Phil. And the girl, when was the last time you told someone you loved them? When I last saw Phil, when was that? Last night. I was at Phil's last night. Sorry, last night. I told him by text a few minutes ago. Who are 5 people you find attractive? Besides Phil, celebrities, so Leonardo DiCaprio, how is this so hard? God, this shouldn't be this hard. Robert Downey Jr. in a weird way. Actually, not in a weird way. He's just attractive. Beyonce. Emma Stone. Andrew Garfield. Lots of people. I don't know. I'm probably missing obvious ones. Who was the last person you hugged? Phil last night, I think. Who was your first kiss with? My first kiss that wasn't a stage kiss was with a boy who I met on a cruise ship. It was like a 2-week-long cruise ship, and it was kind of a summer romance kind of thing. Only the issue was he was 20, going on 21, and I was 15. And I told him I was 17, going on 18, when I was 15, going on 16. And then the last night he kissed me and promised to stay in touch. And then a few weeks later, it was my 16th birthday, which he saw on Facebook, and then we didn't speak again. But it wasn't really a big deal because he was gorgeous, but personality-wise, he was a bit not for me. Why did your last relationship fail? It didn't, because there wasn't one, unless you count that, and that's why I've just said why that failed. And would you ever date someone off the internet? It wouldn't be the first place I'd go to look for a relationship, but I'd never write it off. And that's the end of that very long string of questions that I should have read before I started it, because there was some weird ones in there. Like one of the ones I didn't read was, what was your kinkiest wet dream? Okay. So, the moral of the story is, kids, if you're going to make a video, read the questions first. Right, this has been 32 minutes now, so if anyone has actually watched this whole thing, I applaud you. I'm going to go now, because it's 6:15, and I'm going to go drive to the shops and buy myself a pint of half-baked. Because I looked in the shops at the top and they didn't have it. They had other flavours, but I thought, no, I want half-baked. I'm going to go get half-baked. Who cares if I've already had 3 meals today? Who cares if I'm home alone? All the more reason to have it. So I'm going to go get myself some ice cream, and I will take a picture when I eat it to show you how much I manage. Not that it matters, but let's do this. Right, pint party tonight. Woo! Anyway, I'm going to sign off now because this has been crazy long. Hope you're all well. Lots of love to all of you. And somebody else should... I will post a link to the questions if I can find them. And somebody else should answer this too because it was fun. And videos are great. Yay! Okay. Bye everyone. Bye-bye.